first step to place training is getting the dog wanting to go to the area that you've chosen. The best way to do this is lead on, as it takes away any body movement, but it's also much easier to guide. The reason why you don't want to add body movement into the picture is because dogs learn body movement over vocal. Second thing you need is a motivator. The best motivator is usually their food, so you want to be doing this at meal times as they're going to be hungry and want to work for you. When you're using a command, you don't want to use one that you're already using. So if you have a crate and you call it bed, you don't want to call this bed because it's going to become too confusing for the dog. When you do say the command, you're going to take a pause in between. The reason why you're taking a pause is because one, you're allowing the dog to work it out, so eventually you know when the dog is actually learning the command, but two, you're taking away the association with the body movement. You will also need a release command. Most people already have a release command, so a good example of this is with their food bowl. You place it on the floor and you tell the dogs to take it, go, free. You want to use one that you're going to use over multiple things so the dog knows what a release actually is. If you don't have one, I would strongly suggest you start using one in many areas, and this will be a great exercise for you to pick one up. I use break because break doesn't come up in conversation. So if I have friends round, no one's going to really use the word break into conversation, so the dogs won't come off their bed. This is what it should look like. Mac, place, guide. Well, when the dog goes on the bed, you want them to sit or lie down, because with that behaviour, they're going to stay on that area much longer. As soon as they go on, you're going to say yes, and then you're going to reward. Obviously, it's too late now that I'm explaining, but Mac, break, pause, guide. As soon as all four paws off, yes, reward. Mac, place, yes, reward. Mac, break, yes, reward. Now, my dogs are going to do this quite well at the moment because it's took me about 100 times to film this. If you do struggle, however, you may be due to the lead being on because the dog's not used to being the lead on. So I would have the lead on anyway, but I would drop the lead and I would use your hand to guide, but you definitely need to make sure that you're taking that pause in between the vocal and the guide. So it would look something like this. Mac, break, and guide. Yes, reward. Mac, place, guide. Wait for the dog to go into a position. Yes, reward. Mac, break, guide. Yes, reward. The reason why I'm using Mac's name is because I have a multi-dog household. So I need to let the dogs know when one has to stay and one can come off, or vice versa, when one has to go on and one can stay off. This may take a little longer for you guys that do have multiple dogs, but it is totally worth teaching. With this exercise, you want to do 10 to 15 repetitions and only at feeding time. So if you feed your dog twice a day, do it twice a day. If you do it once a day, just do it the once. Reason why I'm saying at meal times is because the dog's going to be motivated, but two, you don't have to find extra time out of your day to do this. The reason why you're only doing 10 to 15 reps as well is because you want the exercise to be short and sweet. If the exercise is short and sweet, the dog's not going to get bored, and then they're going to want to do it next time. We're going to do this for about 7 days because 7 days is usually when the dog starts taking their owners to the bed. Some dogs may take a little bit longer, but that's something you as the dog owner will have to work out. But a good recommended time is the 7 days. So the next video will be posted in 7 days. I will be posting every day on my stories, me training these dogs, so hopefully it keeps you guys motivated. And if you are filming when you're doing this, please tag me in stories or your videos. Good luck.